Nicosia. Timeless hospitality.
Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. We are in the 15th Cyprus International Film Festival, Inspire TV Live Talks. We are at the third day of the festival, and we have our special guest today, Princess Angelique Monet, who is a participant also this year with her short documentary, Royal Unites. Royal Empires Unite, and Karl Bardosh. He's a professor in 𝘄𝗁𝗄𝗄 in New York University and also member of the jury of the short films this year. It is our honor that both of you are here. And we met 2 years ago, I think, in Cannes Film Festival, right, Angelique?
Yes.
Yes, and I mean 3 years ago, and 2 years ago you inaugurated the first smartphone festival running parallel with the Cannes Film Festival, right?
Yes, we did, and we honored Professor Karl Bardosh for his pioneering of this industry, which is a beautiful thing. Thank you, Professor.
Congratulations, yes.
Thank you.
And also, Angelique, you had also several programs, of course, but the one that I have participated as well is the World Peace Initiative with Films for Purpose that runs in Cannes Film Festival too.
Yes, right? You have. One of the things I want to say about you is you're a busy lady doing amazing things and also a beautiful filmmaker that's empowering women. So our jury also appreciates what you're doing. It's just a beautiful thing that within the network that we've created. And I want to thank also Professor Karl Bardosh. We're all very talented as well. So that's what makes it beautiful, is we have our own prestigious programs, and we're also producing competitive projects that can make a difference within the marketplace. And you're one of our honorees because you make films for women. In the film that you made about women empowerment, we're seeing that around the world where women are leading in the world, and that's the future, and that's what we need now.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Angelique. Professor, what is your impression about the films you watched during the festival up to now?
Yes, this is a very rich festival, in my opinion. There is a great variety of films. And I was deeply impressed. I mean, even the ones that were selected as finalists, there was quite a lot. I mean, over 30 films as finalists is quite unusual. That means that you had a large number of entries. And so this year I participated in your short film category, and very impressive works. There was a whole bunch of them coming from Greece. They were very, very impressive. It was very difficult to select the best ones. You gave us a big headache, I have to tell you, because I mean, to select ones that we felt that they are the best, that was very, very difficult. I mean, you have a point system from 1 to 3. And I mean, it was like very difficult to figure out which are the ones that would be selected as top. And it looks like there were some even from Cyprus, but all over the world.
Yes.
And so what you're doing, I understand that it has a double purpose. You are having an international festival, but also within that, you have a little bit of a, helping of Greece and Cyprus, especially Greece, to make and showcase their films. And I think you're serving these two purposes at the same time very well, because you have a lot of entries from all over the world, but you also, you are able to promote and showcase the best films coming from Greece. So that's a very, very good platform. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I'm impressed that you noticed that. Cyprus is another country different to Greece, but we give, yes, our festival gives a new chance to Greek filmmakers. So also we are the two countries are near. So yeah, it's very easy for Greek filmmakers to travel to come to Cyprus. Both countries speak the same language, Greek, the same religion. So it is like to be home. But thank you for noticing this. And these films compete the same. Sometimes we give best Greek short film, but I'm not sure if we will have this year. And the category, the films you watched it is their first short film. So you watch the Got Talent, CYIFF Got Talent category. There are also other short films, more experienced, and we call veteran short films. They are less, of course.
I was sorry.
Yeah. I want to add also this about the short film selection. This year we have the opportunity to do the festival also online, virtual. So we have this luxury of time to select more films.
I'm sure that I speak on behalf of Princess Angelique Monet as well, that we are so sorry that we couldn't be there physically. And I certainly hope that next year we can be there in the wonderful, Cyprus, to be there physically at your festival.
I like that. I think that we're a big family here. We have been in Cannes at least 2 times. Friends, okay, people we know participate in the festival with their films, like Zoe. And Lawrence also is a new member of the jury for the veteran short films, but by purpose, you don't see each other films. I mean, I don't want to put you in a difficult situation to judge a film from people you know. So you are not going, you didn't watch Angelique film.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, not you.
I was getting nervous.
Not you, neither, Lawrence.
Okay.
Would you like to? Okay, I know, Karl, that you teach filmmaking in Teach University in New York, and you have a specific topic. It is filmmaking with smartphones, right?
Yes. So I actually started to teach that over 10 years ago, in 2009, when I started to teach that, and it's the first and only university course in the world that started to teach how to make movies on your phone, cell phone cinema. And I'm happy to say that after teaching it over 10 years, just now, a Campus Wire online magazine selected as #1 this course among the 17 most innovative university courses in the US. So at this moment, this course is #1 in the United States in all universities. So I'm very happy about that. It took over 10 years to get this recognition. But I actually started this even before. I'm considered one of the pioneers of making films with cell phones. I started it as early as 2004. And at that time, the way it happened was that a year before, in 2002 and 2003, I directed a feature film in Brazil. And because I make films all over the world. So in Brazil, it was a Brazil-Hungary co-production, Brazil-Hungary, USA. And I was directing the film and we're shooting with a Sony 1000, the very first digital handycam. And we shot the whole feature film with that. And
I had the same. I bought the same.
Yes. Oh, well, I wasn't original in that because that was the continuation that we have to admit was called Dogma 95. That was by the Danish filmmakers, Lars von Trier, introduced and scandalized the Cannes Film Festival in 1995 by using this camera and show that you don't have to have big crew and big budget to make a feature film. You can shoot that with small digital cameras. So that's what I used. And two friends of mine from Hungary were participating in Brazil. And after that, they said, okay, when we go back to Hungary, let's start a new competition in the world. That was the first time in 2004, making 3-minute films in 24 hours. It became very popular. Now you see all over the world, they have competitions, 72 hours filmmaking, 48 hours filmmaking, 24-hour filmmaking. We were the first ones. And in that one, I said, hey, the phone is also digital. So we tell them not only to shoot with small digital cameras, authorized to make it on the phone. And sure enough, there were a couple of films under my supervision that were already made in 2004. And that's how the whole movement, I participated in this movement that led to this. And then I introduced it to many countries. 2007, I introduced to India, 2011 in Australia, then Latin America through the Dominican Republic, of course in the US and Europe and all over the place. So perhaps because of this, and I will be eternally grateful to Princess Angelique Monet, who then in Cannes 2 years ago started within her, and she should talk about it, it's fantastic, films of humanitarian purpose. She also introduced into that a new category, which is the humanitarian cell phone cinema. But I hope she can.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Professor Karl Bardosh.
Yes,
So in 2016, our organization founded the World Peace and Tolerance Institute, where Professor Karl Bardosh was honored. He was honored as a legend, and he was also honored for his film that he made on Tagore. So basically, in getting to know him further and going to NYU and meeting the students and seeing the work, working at the United Nations, where Professor did come with me many times to participate because our organization has the ECOSOC status, I realized that the sustainable future of smartphone cinema and what he's doing can really save many of the industries and also help the poor and the individuals that are in rural communities. So what was a surprise for him is in 2018, not only did we have our normal program, but we also rolled out the Karl Bardosh Humanitarian Cell Phone Cinema Awards, where it was the first time ever smartphones were screened in the marketplace. Also privately, where Petra, you were on the jury, we screened at the gala. And this was the trend before COVID-19. So the good news is with this awards presentation that took place at the American Pavilion, 2019, we did Cannes virtual, within the 𝘊𝗪𝗂𝗋𝗋 finally, everyone sees the future. And also we have archives now within the United Nations of what the work that we're doing within Hollywood. So we're really seeking to elevate the smartphone cinema community into high-profile films, good films, quality films. I want to congratulate Professor Karl Bardosh for also believing in me, because with 𝘂𝗍𝗄𝗃 this summer, in the midst of COVID, we were able to help 𝘂𝗍𝗄𝗃, my good friend, His Excellency 𝘃𝗶𝗱𝗁, with his summer camp, where we had 500 youth from around the world in rural communities that have no filmmaking training. They're all diplomacy. And we created the AM1 Smartphone Youth Festival specific for 𝘂𝗍𝗄𝗃, where Professor was our co-founder. So we're going far with this. We're working with, obviously he has NYU, we're working with the United Nations platforms, and we're also working within Hollywood to show everyone the future of where we're gonna go with this. And it feels great because I have a business side to things as a sales agent and distributor and working with Films of Purpose. So it feels great to see visions of legends like Professor Karl Bardosh and being able to usher other levels onto this and to still have him involved with us and our organization.
Yes.
Just a footnote about the UN, because we introduced that in the United Nations this way. These were all not simply people, these were delegates from all over the world. And we had a 3-day workshop. And within the 3-day workshop, at the end of that, we actually had a festival of their films, and quite a few of them were, I think you agree, Princess Angelique Monet, that they were quite good, right?
They, to be honest, they were better than some of the professional filmmakers, and they were youth. And that's what makes it beautiful. Some of the filmmakers that won, he's 15 out of Mexico. And he said that our program, on my date of birth, October 22nd, he said that the program changed his life. And can you imagine, my dream is also working with youth going to Mars. So he was part of that program, and he'll be receiving a Harvard certificate. But him winning our award also boosted his confidence because he's being trained to be a diplomat in the future. So it feels really good that now we're virtually online as well. We can make more of an impact with our work, but mostly through the education platforms.
Yeah. I'm very excited that technology like a smartphone can serve such a noble cause, humanitarian, so that you select this genre, humanitarian films. I think it's very impressive and very well appreciated, and personally I'm grateful for that. And I would like to more films also in digital way to be done with such a cause to serve humanitarian causes. So Karl, please, because you are more in the theory from us maybe, do you think that mobile technology is better than digital way of filmmaking? Or what is the difference? And I know that it's very easy to do a film with a smartphone, but what are the advantages and disadvantages doing a film with mobile and not with a digital camera?
So we are just coming out of a period of COVID-19, or actually we are probably being thrown back again into that because there's a surge of the COVID-19 regulations all over the world. So during this past year, because of COVID-19, it was amazing that all professionals had only one choice to work, and that was with the smartphone. Every single professional cinema, every single major television network, they could only do their programs by using smartphones. There was no other way. I was shocked to see like great American television stars in their own home saying, well, I am hosting the program from my home using a smartphone. And nobody could tell the difference. But we knew that already, because even in Hollywood, they made already films with smartphones that went into commercial distribution. I'll give you two examples. One of them is a former student of ours from New York University. His name is Sean Baker. And he made a film in Hollywood and only for $100,000 using cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And, but what he did is that you put an adapter in front of the cell phone lens, and with that lens adapter, he was able to use Panavision lenses, and the lenses were like 4 or 5 times larger than the entire phone. And they shot the film with that. The title is Tangerine. And I went into 3 or 4 movie theaters just to check audience reactions. They had no idea that this film was shot on phone. There is no difference in quality. Why? Because today the cell phones can record in 4K. Mm-hmm. And you use professional lenses. When we had cinema projected in the theaters, they projected 2K resolution. So a phone has already double of that, of recording. Plus you have the lenses, the professional lenses. They have special Steadicams for smooth movements. They have drone shots for helicopter shots. I mean, the arsenal is practically professional, and then was followed by Steve Soderbergh, a famous director in Hollywood, who made his first feature in cell phone cinema, was called Unsane, and followed up with 2 other films. And he used Hollywood stars, big production, but shot with a cell phone. One reason is that when you shoot with a cell phone, the director, him or herself, can go up to the talent very close and establish a very intimate relationship. And the director can also shoot alongside with the larger camera. Now, having said that, you cannot tell the difference in quality, but still, I'm not thinking that on the long term, the methods of cell phone will replace all cameras. I'm looking at it as a new option. And this option makes it so democratic. It democratizes filmmaking. Therefore, almost everybody can be a filmmaker. And that fits our age, because we are in the digital age and online, and anybody can make a film. And if it's a good film, it can be sent to the Cyprus International Film Festival and can win awards. Actually, there was a film in your festival that I have to excuse myself. I could not vote for that because I helped making it. That was shot on cell phone. So you cannot tell the difference. I'm sure that other people in the jury who didn't know that was shot on cell phone, they would not be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. You know, Karl, we have a category mobile films, but this film, because it was first shown, entered also this category, the Got Talent, because, the difference, we cannot see the difference, as you mentioned. Exactly.
Can see the difference, right? My students at New York University for the past 10 years, we also participate in the New York Indian Film Festival, where they show Bollywood. And we have a category, it's called New York NYU Mobile Bollywood. So the students have to make a 1-minute Bollywood music video, and we showed it in the theater, in the festival. And a couple of years ago, Bollywood stars and producers came over to me and said that, Professor, you're telling us that the films that we saw on the big screen, those were shot by phone? I said, yes. They say, but we cannot tell the difference. And I said, that's the point. You can't tell the difference.
Yes. So for the people who just entered in Facebook, I would like to mention that we are in the Inspire TV live talks session during the Cyprus International Film Festival with special guests, Professor Karl Bardosh, award-winning filmmaker, pioneer of smartphone filmmaking, co-founder of the Humanitarian Cellphone Awards, with Princess Angelique Monet, she is an award-winning filmmaker, writer, director, producer of the short film 𝘂𝗶𝗱𝗁𝗂𝗁𝗂. We have this film, we have the honor to have this film in the festival. And she's founder of the Humanitarian Cellphone Awards in Cannes with Karl, as I mentioned already. Also in the African Artisan Film Initiative, World Peace Initiative, status to the United Nations, and many more. But I want to make a more personal question to Angelique about the woman, and about your origin. I would like, at your roots, I would like to share with us how is to be a woman in today's world, and also to have roots in another continent as Africa.
Okay.
In Europe or US.
Okay. Well, the first layer to being a woman in today's society is my family always trained me that to be a lady actually is to have grace, elegant style, humility, and to be meek. And that if you could master that on a day-to-day basis, then you are basically a royal, you're a queen. And that is the epitome of what women empowerment is. It's to be the best woman that you can be that serves humanity and serves the community, independent there of yourself. So that's what I've worked on since that I was a little girl. My story is that I had a learning disability. I didn't talk until I was 5. It was the piano that opened me up. In the 5th grade, I was on a 1st grade level, and I was actually part-time in special education. And it was the piano that made it that I was able to process information. I was bullied at this time. And then I was actually ready for high school when I was only 9 years old, when I had to take the test. So what I'd like to tell girls is that self-esteem, being bullied, doesn't have a race, color, or creed, okay? Being strong in the world and believing in yourself is just the rich, the poor, the middle class. All of us have to have something to believe in. And if you believe in yourself, then that is the epitome of it all. No matter what, no matter who tells you that you can't achieve, have a dream and believe in it. The second part is that I'm very proud of my heritage. When you hear my voice, though at the present time I'm in Kensington, London, you hear my voice, I am authentic American. As a matter of fact, if you want to learn how to speak American, I have taught classes, even American English in Italy. I am authentic to American because I am native to the America, coming from many Native American and extinct tribes. Through the transatlantic slave trade, which would have been 401 years ago, I am African. And so I was raised African American, and I do have mixed race heritage as close as a grandparent away. So this is why I believe that we're one. This is why I believe that we're the melting pot. This is why in America, since a little girl, I have worked for diversity, equality, bringing all the people together that are underserved, underrepresented to create diversity. We all love Africa. It's the basis of where we all come from. If you look at Africa and you look at the indigenous people, the Native American people around the world, we see the richness and heritage and culture. And so I'm really excited that the film that you're honoring shows me receiving my royal Yoruba name, because part of my African heritage is of the Yoruba royals, and 𝘂𝗶𝗍𝗄𝗏, which means my crowns have increased. As you see, I do a lot for society. So basically the crown is as you, it's a metaphor in that my crowns have increased, and my goal is to bring all the crowns together, to bring all the world together so that we can become one. And the beautiful thing about my DNA is my ancestors are inside of me, my friends are around the world, and it seems though we're in a trying time right now, there's so many of us that are working really hard for this. And it seems like we're going to be able to do it, especially with the youth that are around today that I've spoken to and mentored, and they're out there doing really good things.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for being in this earth and this festival. So, Karl, I have another question for you about your students. How many female students do you have, and how many male, first of all, and who are more efficient?
Well, New York University Film School is the largest short film production company in the world. We make 5,000 short productions every year, 5,000. And that includes short television programs, documentaries, short features, experimental, and animation, all of them. 5,000. And we are actually most famous for learning by doing. So this is a university where they come in and the very first year already they make films. So out of the 5,000, if you look at it, each student, by the time they graduate, they will have had about 70, 80 films of their own. And they worked on hundreds of others. So they have a tremendous experience in all facets, and they have to learn everything. They have to hands-on, they have to record sound. They have to know how to record the sound, how to mix the sound, lenses of the camera, every single practical aspect of filmmaking they have to go through. And that's a specialty at NYU, as well as, of course, they go through, every single step from the idea, developing it into screenplay, etc. I hold the house record. I've been teaching 30 different courses in filmmaking, including writing and production and everything else. And so, and I created 2 new subjects, as I said already. Cellphone cinema is one in 2009, and I did another one, which is running since 2012, 9 years now, and that's called No Excuses Cinema, micro-budget features. Now that might interest you because these students prepare a very, very low micro-budget feature film. So when they graduate, they can finish a full feature, not only a short. All film schools around the world normally promote one final big film, what they call the thesis film. And these are normally under 20 minutes. If they want to go to Cannes, they have to be under 15 minutes because the highest prestige film festivals in the world accept shorts only under 15. But there are others that they accept it up to 45. And there are 3,000 festivals, so that there is a way to go. But what's most important here is that the shorts show their talent. Yes, they can use it as a calling card, but it's even better if they can show a feature. So that's why I developed this micro-budget features, so they can have a full feature film to show to producers and investors. They are able to do a full feature film.
Yeah. What is the length of the studies? And do you provide the equipment, the shooting equipment, and the studio in order to do the editing and the sound design? Do you provide all this equipment to the students?
Yes, everything is fully provided. And
cameras also, cameras for everybody.
Fantastic cameras. I mean, if you would see our equipment room, it takes up an entire school, an entire street block full of cameras, lighting equipment, everything, dollies, everything you can imagine.
Wow. What is the length of the studies? How long? How many years?
So there are two categories, two parts. One is undergraduate, that's 4 years, and they get a Bachelor of Fine Art degree. And then we have the graduate school, that's 3 years, and that gives a Master of Fine Art, MFA category, degree. And so we have over 1,000 undergraduates, which is one of the largest schools in the world. I mean, that's more than all European film schools combined. And the graduate school has about 200 students. So we are talking about 1,200 students making 5,000 productions per year with full equipment support, editing rooms, anything you can imagine.
Yeah. And what happened to these films? They produce these films, and what else? They make a circuit in the festivals maybe, but is there any provision? I have something in my mind that maybe a selection of your films can be included in the Inspire TV platform that we inaugurate this year in this festival, and we offer all selected films in Cyprus International Film Festival and Bridges International Film Festival are eligible to have distribution in this platform. And of course, first-shown filmmakers are preferable and most welcomed.
So yes, it's a very nice idea. We should talk more about that. But these films, these student films, go all over the world, not only into student festivals, and they regularly among the winners at the Cannes, because Cannes has also a film school category, the 𝘂𝗍𝗄 𝗀𝗍, and many times NYU films win that. And I also have some of the films. I myself personally supervise over 1,500 films, and some of them actually won the Oscar. So they go all over the place.
Yes, but what about the rest? I'm a filmmaker too. I was in Cannes Film Festival at Short Film Corner. I produced 10 films, but only one entered the Short Film Corner. And I'm looking to promote, to display my films, some platforms. So we create this now. It's an opportunity for independent filmmakers who maybe they don't have the connections, they don't have the money to hire an agent to promote them. So have this in mind.
You have a very strong, a very high prestige film festival. And I think you're doing a great service to filmmakers around the world to have your short film category. And if you would have, more, you're really doing a great mission on behalf of filmmakers, and it's a wonderful platform.
Yes. And they come again with their first feature film. Maybe it's not a premiere, but they come. And the most I like is that collaborations raise within the festival. They meet each other, and after 2 years, 3 years, I find out that they did a film together. They did something together. But I say you have to announce this good news to the festival, to me. We are so proud of you. That's why I think this year, during the pandemic, the jury have maybe, there are many members. So 126 filmmakers will be somehow connected with you. And who knows what will happen in 2 years and 3 years.
Speaking of micro budget, we have to ask again, Princess Angelique Monet, because she established a connection to the #1 micro budget filmmaking in the world, and that's called Nollywood, right? You have a special connection there. Yes.
I do. I've actually been working on this for a while, is to merge Nollywood, Hollywood, and Bollywood, and to create one industry within the UN. So so this Nollywood is actually the #1 industry that makes the most films within the world.
But
and so
what will be the genre? It will be humanitarian always,
well,
right?
everything I do is not humanitarian. 𝘂𝗄𝗄𝗃 Entertainment, actually my production company, named after my grandmother, is the sponsor of the AFI World Peace Initiative in Cannes. However, we have a slate of films that range from drama to narrative features to humanitarian. So there's different sides to Angelique Monet. I'm an actress, okay? I'm a performer. So if I was to do, I gave that all up. I gave that all up to be a humanitarian so that I could make a difference. But when we're talking about film, film is depth, film is drama, film is the heated moment. So we honor films that are not necessarily humanitarian. And I also distribute films. I've worked with Danny Glover with his film Chasing Shakespeare, where I've worked with many Hollywood best with films that are just really thought-provoking. We're actually going to be honoring a film coming up this year, and there's some distribution behind it as well with 𝘂𝗄𝗄𝗃. So we've done good work. We've worked with Isaiah Washington as well to brand one of his films. It was actually in the, I don't want to say horror, but I want to say the thriller genre. So getting back to the Nollywood industry, Nollywood is the top industry in the world that makes the most films, and they make a lot of money. And so there was a glitch recently because of the oversaturation. And that's why Professor and I are also going to be working with Smartphone. The founder, the co-founder is Her Royal Highness Princess Moradun, who's also on our board. She was on the jury with us in 2018 in Cannes. So I have tracked everyone down to be part of this movement to take Nollywood actually to the next level. We're seeing in Hollywood that many of the African stars are actually acting and becoming Oscar winners. So there's so many talent in Africa to bring up, and that's the movement that is being created. So 2021, I want to tell everyone, Princess Angelique Monet is a humanitarian. However, you will see some drama films, and you will see with Professor Karl Bardosh as well. We're working on narrative films. He has an amazing film that we're also producing to merge Nollywood, Hollywood, and Bollywood. So,
and so Princess Moradun, actually the Nollywood cinema started in her living room. Am I correct?
Yes, Her Royal Highness Princess Moradun is a pioneer in many areas. She really is, and as well as journalism. So I'm really happy to have her as a part of our life and within our brand. She did. It was a humble beginning that started within her living room when she was in Nigeria, and then it merged into such a big industry. So now that it is such a big industry in the United Kingdom, they're still making films. They're still finding a way to make films and to get the stories out. They're still shooting films in Africa, specific to West Africa, Ghana, and Nigeria, even in the midst of the pandemic. Nothing is stopping this industry from doing what they have to do. And so that's one of the things that I want to say within the United Nations structure. Why there's other things that I'm working on is a handbook for the Me Too, so that we have a way to define our movie sets, and that's going to go into all the industries. But what I'll say is perseverance is what the Nollywood industry have, and a lot of the rural communities, they have what we don't have in Hollywood. That's the drive, the incentive, the motivation, the talent, that I'm going to make a film regardless of what I have, whatever tool I have. I'm going to go study online to figure out. Our students that you saw in the smartphone, cell phone with UNESCO, many of them came out of Nigeria, and the films that we got were just as good. To be honest, they were just as good as any film. Yeah. 3 of them.
Angelique, time out. I have a question. Why in Europe we don't see we don't watch Nollywood films? Why they don't come here? Why you don't bring them in?
Okay, that's a good question. The situation with the Nollywood industry is it's actually since the year 2008. I know that sounds like a long time. I've been working on the merge that has happened now, okay? So now the situation is many of the African talent are leaving Nollywood and they're working within Hollywood, okay? And that includes many of the directors. So there's still many that are focused in on the Nollywood community. And these are novella stories. So you don't really need backgrounds, you don't really need drops, you just need really talented actors. What happens is that these films go to New York City, okay? And there's a huge market for them in New York City. And then what happens is that there's a community in New York, and there's a community actually in London, and there's a community in Germany. And these are the Europeans that bring Nollywood talent, or the Africans that are in the Nollywood industry that live here. So they have their own marketplace, their own push, their own theatrical releases, their own sales, and how they do things. So the good news is that there are many platforms that are developed. I developed one back in 2011. Now, because of diversity, which is a beautiful thing, they are on Amazon, okay? So the films are not being bootlegged so that you're walking Professor in New York and seeing the films at the Strip. These films are now getting on Amazon. Now they're getting on Netflix, and now it's a big push. So where my role is now is my original goal. I was behind the scenes working to bring the industry up, and now in front of the scenes, my goal is to merge the industries so that it's not just specific to Nollywood. We're about diversity, so we're merging rural talent to bring into one new genre.
Yeah. I'm blessed to work with a Nigerian director of photography in a short film that I shot in Central Park in New York in 2018, and Patience Okwonofo. And also because she had her film screening in New Jersey, and her cousin with the same name, a featured Nollywood film that she shot in Nigeria. I watched these films and I love them. I mean, I love the culture, of course, the locations, the costumes, the history, the traditions that all are obvious in Nollywood films, in Nigerian films. And I was looking for Nigerian films for the festival, but it's so difficult to find that attracts. That's why
I didn't know you were looking. There's a host of many, especially women. What's really beautiful, what's going on now is that there's a lot of women Nollywood filmmakers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So maybe we talk about this later so that we can include.
Of course, for next year.
Yes.
So, Professor Karl Bardosh, what is your next plan, your dream for the next 5 years, apart the cooperation with Princess Angelique Monet?
Well, it's furthering the mobile phone filmmaking, of course. And with Princess Angelique Monet, we are also working on a big feature film that hopefully we can make happen. And it's just a footnote for the conversation so that the your viewers will learn that the three major countries in terms of feature filmmaking, number one is not Hollywood. Number one is Bollywood, which is India. And I'm working a lot in India, and we are preparing a big feature film in India. I've been working in that industry for 25 years. The number two is Nollywood, the number of feature films made. And that is because, and that's very good also for you, for your mission, the reason they are successful because the local audience look at the local films, they buy them, they look at them. And number three in the world is Hollywood in terms of the number of films made, feature films made. And so it's Bollywood, Nollywood, Hollywood. And we are hoping to combine all of them. And in my future plans, films that I'm developing, I'm trying to combine all three together. And that's what the type of production I'm trying to put together, which would be Hollywood, Bollywood, Nollywood teacher. And so basically, the way I see my life and my work, if you ask me, first and foremost, I make filmmakers. I make filmmakers.
Yes.
Then in my spare time, here and there, I make my films. So that's the order.
Okay, thank you. Princess Angelique, do you want to add something before we finish and before we see the trailer of your film, Royal Empires Unite, that participates in the festival also?
Well, I just want to say hard work and believing in yourself and understanding the value of talent and education. And education doesn't necessarily have to be degrees. It could be information and learning and mentorships and internships. It's crucial for the next wave. We're one, and I'm really excited that the arts is what's connecting us today. And we're building a global family. And I'm very excited that through the smartphones, through our films, through the arts, we're going to be able to do this.
So thank you very much being with us today, and see you in the festival next year. See you in Cannes. We will see in New York maybe, but of course in Cyprus you are most welcome next year to be here.
Mama Africa.
It's a part of a movement to bring about a better quality of life for all, especially the younger generation.
Not knowing colors, not knowing nationalities, she's actually amalgamating everyone into one.
Receiving this recognition is very important because we're in an era where we can't control our past, but we can dictate our future.